Lately, there has been a wave of unsettling talk, suggesting that a legal issue may be approaching sooner than expected, possibly involving formal action or a dispute that could surface within a short time. While nothing is confirmed, the idea itself can naturally create anxiety and confusion, especially when information feels unclear or comes from indirect sources. In situations like this, the most important step is not panic, but preparation and awareness. If any claim or complaint is indeed forming in the background, it usually develops through communication, documents, and conversations between involved parties before it ever reaches a formal stage. That means there is still time to understand what is real, what is speculation, and what requires attention. Instead of assuming the worst, it is wiser to stay grounded, observe facts carefully, and avoid reacting emotionally to rumors or vague warnings. If legal support ever becomes necessary, reaching out to a qualified professional early can make a significant difference in handling matters calmly and correctly. Many situations that seem overwhelming at first often become manageable once the details are properly reviewed and explained. It is also important to remember that not every alarming message reflects an actual event. Sometimes misunderstandings grow simply because information is incomplete. Keeping communication open, gathering clarity from reliable sources, and focusing on practical steps will always be more helpful than letting uncertainty take control. Whatever the situation may be, approaching it with patience and clear thinking ensures that decisions are made wisely rather than under pressure, allowing you to respond effectively if and when anything truly develops. Fear does not come from me. I tell you this so you walk with awareness, not shock. So you stay grounded, not confused. So your heart stays steady, not panicked. Because when you are caught off guard, your spirit becomes scattered. But when you are informed, your heart becomes anchored. That is why I speak now, before the storm arrives physically. And I want you to breathe slowly as you hear me, because you must know that I did not bring this message to you out of chaos. I brought it to you in calm timing, because preparation before the moment is grace, and I am giving you grace in advance. There is nothing random about this. They think they are working in secret, but I am the God who sees the unseen. I see the long hallway before they even step into the room. I see the file before they even type your initials. I see the decision before the idea even forms in their mind. The lawsuit is not accidental. They have been planning this silently. It has been building slowly. They waited until they thought the moment was beneficial for them. They waited until they thought you were vulnerable enough to strike. They waited until they thought you were tired enough to not notice. But I noticed, and I am revealing this to you now, because information is a spiritual shield. Knowledge is not fear. Knowledge is protection. When you know, you can move. When you know, you can adjust. When you know, you can prepare. My child, this is not to shake you. This is to steady you. And I want you to hold this in your heart gently. I am not letting you walk into next week as a victim. I am guiding you, so you enter next week as someone whose eyes are open. And in this moment right now, it is not panic that I want you to feel. It is awareness. The people preparing this case against you are certain you will not see it coming. They have underestimated the timing of heaven. They have believed that their hidden preparation equals guaranteed victory. But I have stepped into this moment early, before they make their move public. I am here to instruct you step by step, so your spirit stays grounded and your discernment stays active. And I want you to listen without rushing, because spiritual clarity requires slow hearing. I need you to understand something deeper. Lawsuits are not always about legal conflict on earth. Sometimes lawsuits are the physical form of a spiritual jealousy that has been building in the atmosphere. Some people do not fight you face to face because they do not have the courage. So they fight you through systems, through paper, through signatures, through technicalities. They want the world to do their damage. They want the system to silence your voice, so they do not have to reveal their own bitterness in public. This is not only a legal moment. This is a spiritual expression of resentment. They want to weaken you through structure, because they could not weaken you through conversation. They could not weaken you through gossip. They could not weaken you through doubt. So now, they want to weaken you through what looks like logic and documentation. This is why, my child, the lawyer you choose matters. Not because the evidence is real, but because the trap is subtle. The case is not built on truth. The case is built on projection. They are projecting their insecurity into a legal storyline so it looks justified. They are not trying to prove something legally. They are trying to damage you emotionally. The lawsuit is the weapon, not the point. The case is the disguise. The courtroom is just the stage. The real target is your confidence. So listen with calm breath. They are not after your money. They are after your peace. They are not after your possessions. They are after the stability inside your soul. They are not after your reputation because they think you are guilty. They are after your reputation because they fear the weight of your influence. This is not punishment. This is intimidation. They want to corner you. There are situations where others attempt to create pressure long before any formal process begins, hoping that uncertainty will do the work for them. The intention is often to make you feel overwhelmed, as if the weight of expectation could cause you to step back before you ever reach the moment that matters. They rely on doubt forming quietly, on fatigue replacing focus, and on hesitation slowing your natural confidence. What they overlook is the strength that comes from steadiness. When the mind remains grounded, external noise loses its influence. Anxiety may try to narrow your thinking, but awareness expands it again. Confusion may try to blur direction, but clarity restores it with patience and balance. The real challenge is not external opposition, but internal stability. When you protect your emotional center, outside pressure cannot easily take root. That is why a calm response holds more power than a reactive one. It does not escalate tension, it dissolves it. There is no need for urgency in tone or force in expression. A composed mindset carries its own authority. It allows you to observe, understand, and respond with intention rather than impulse. In that space, decisions become clearer and outcomes are shaped with greater control. Calmness is not withdrawal, it is awareness. It is the ability to remain present while circumstances attempt to pull you into disorder. And in that presence, you remain steady, focused, and unaffected by noise around you. With patience, you continue forward without losing direction, trusting that steadiness will carry you through uncertainty and allow every step to be guided by clear judgment rather than emotional disturbance. Over time, and pressure fades away naturally in due course. I will not shake you with fear. I will not rush your breath. Because the moment you hear me in peace, the traps against you lose their effectiveness. You are not stepping into this weak blind. You are stepping into this weak informed. And when the spirit is informed, anxiety cannot dominate it. When truth arrives, fear loses its oxygen. What they are building is not greater than what I am preparing. They believe they have the upper hand because they are already filling documents. They believe they have advantage because they are already speaking behind your back. They believe they are ahead because they started planning early. But they do not understand. Heaven does not measure power by who prepares first. Heaven measures power by who stands in truth. They think their preparation is a guarantee, but your connection to me is a greater guarantee. And while they write your name into files, I am writing strength into your spirit. While they type accusations, I am placing clarity into your awareness. While they gather their agreements, I am gathering your steps. They are organizing against you, I am organizing within you. And what forms inside a person is more powerful than what forms outside. Now understand gently, I did not tell you to find a lawyer because the system is stronger than me. I told you to find a lawyer because your participation is part of your testimony. Some victories require human hands. Some victories require earthly representation. Not because heaven needs help, but because heaven sometimes chooses to work through people to shape destiny. There are lawyers who defend facts, and there are lawyers who defend souls. You need the one who carries both. You need someone whose mind does not panic when pressure arrives. You need someone whose wisdom does not collapse when the case becomes deeply layered. You need someone who does not see this as just another file, but sees the spiritual weight behind the strategy. You need someone who understands that this moment is not just legal, it is prophetic. You need someone who does not simply speak in court, but understands the timing of divine intervention. And I will lead you to this person, not by forcing you, not by rushing you, not by confusing you, but through a gentle indicator, a small sign, a small moment, a small name, a small suggestion, something subtle, something that will appear like coincidence to the normal eye. But to you, it will feel like recognition. It will feel like inner confirmation. It will feel like a quiet light turning on in your awareness. And you will know, not because the sign is loud, but because your spirit will feel peace when the name appears. Peace is the indicator of direction. Peace is how I guide you. This lawsuit is not the end. This lawsuit is not destruction. This lawsuit is not punishment. This lawsuit is a transition point, a portal moment, a shift in your timeline. A moment where hidden intentions of others are being exposed not by your investigation, but by their own decision to file what they think will hurt you. People reveal their hearts when they choose their methods. They believe they are exposing you, but in reality, they are exposing themselves. And my child, I need you to understand this with calm acceptance. There is no pain that is wasted when it reveals truth. There is no attack that is useless when it reveals the character of those who pretend to care. There is no betrayal that is meaningless when it shows you who never deserved access to you. This lawsuit is a mask removal. This lawsuit is a sudden clarity. This situation can feel like a heavy moment, almost as if life is revealing uncomfortable truths about the people around you and within your journey. It's natural to feel drained when misunderstandings or conflicts arise, especially when you believe you have moved with honesty and intention. At times like this, it helps to step back and see things from a wider perspective rather than only through the pain of the moment. People often react from their own inner struggles, fears, and unhealed insecurities, and those emotions can shape how they respond to others without them fully realizing it. When someone is focused on their own doubts or limitations, they may misread the growth, confidence, or progress they see in others as something they cannot relate to or process clearly. That difference in inner state can create distance, tension, or misunderstanding, even when no real harm was intended. It is important to remember that your journey, your growth, and your presence do not lose value because others are struggling with their own path. Sometimes, what feels like opposition is actually projection, where people are reacting to their own internal challenges rather than who you truly are. In those moments, staying grounded in your peace becomes more powerful than reacting emotionally. Protecting your inner calm allows you to move forward with clarity instead of carrying unnecessary emotional weight. Growth often brings visibility, and visibility can bring mixed reactions, but it does not define your worth or direction. What matters most is continuing to move with integrity, patience, and self-awareness, while not allowing external noise to disturb your inner balance or your sense of purpose. What I want is understanding, because understanding keeps the heart soft while the eyes stay open. When you understand what is happening, you do not take the attack personally. You do not collapse into confusion. You do not drown in questions. You simply realize this is not about you doing wrong. This is about others failing to grow. And so, my child, I need you to hold your inner calm as you walk these next days. I need you to take every step slow and conscious, because wisdom does not rush. Wisdom observes. Wisdom listens. Wisdom waits. Wisdom does not panic when the enemy moves, because wisdom knows that the enemy is predictable. Those who move in darkness always reveal themselves eventually. Not because you discover them, but because their own jealousy forces them into the light. This lawsuit, this paper, this file, this legal move, it is not sudden to me. It is only sudden to you. And that is why I speak now, so you are aligned before the moment arrives physically. Your 7 days are not 7 days of fear. They are 7 days of preparation. They are 7 days of alignment. They are 7 days of inner centering. Warriors are not built in comfort. Warriors are built in clarity. And clarity is arriving now, word by word, breath by breath, quietly, steadily, until your spirit stands still and firm inside you. You are not alone in this week. Do not walk in the mindset of, everyone is against me. That is not truth. I am with you. And if I am with you, then even those who appear many are spiritually few, because the number of people against you does not determine the outcome. Your connection to divine alignment determines the outcome. One person guided by heaven can overpower 100 guided by jealousy. A single step taken in wisdom can destroy 10 steps taken through hatred. The strength of those trying to harm you is not measured by how many they are. Their strength is measured by how grounded you are, and you will be grounded. I will not allow fear to take root inside you. I will not allow panic to dictate your decisions. I will not allow anxiety to infiltrate your breathing. That is why I speak before their papers arrive. That is why I reveal the intention before you see the document. That is why I give you awareness before the week begins. Because awareness is protection, and protection is not always physical. Sometimes protection is insight. You have not lost control of your life. Things are not falling apart. This is not the end. This is a divine interruption to expose the energy around you that pretended to be peaceful. This is correction of environment. This is cleansing of hidden toxins. This is the universe removing wolves disguised as supporters. Sometimes justice begins by revealing who cannot walk with you into your next chapter. And my child, hear me gently. You are entering a new chapter. They think they are ending your path, but actually, they are signaling the beginning of a new path. Every legal moment carries weight, but it also carries transformation. This lawsuit is not the destruction point. It is the turning point. You are not being pushed down. You are being positioned. They think they are blocking your journey, but actually, they are confirming your elevation. Because nobody fights what is not rising. Nobody plots against what is not powerful. Nobody attacks what is not becoming significant. People do not sue the ordinary. They sue what threatens their comfort. You have become a threat to the comfort of those who wanted you small. You have become unsettling to those who wanted you silent. You have become a reflection that reveals who they are not, and instead of growing, they are attacking. But they cannot stop what is already written. Their papers do not rewrite your destiny, they only reveal their fear of it. Breathe, my child. Let your heart rest. Let your mind settle. You are not stepping into this week alone. You are stepping into this week with a sense of guidance over every detail. And when you walk under guidance, you move differently. You move slowly, with awareness. You move consciously. You move calmly, because calmness is not weakness, it is inner maturity. Calmness is confidence rooted in the unseen. Calmness is proof that your strength does not depend on external approval. Your strength depends on a deeper presence. The right guidance will appear at the right time, not the loud one, not the attention-seeking one, but the quiet, wise one. And when it arrives, it will feel natural, not forced. You will recognize it through inner ease rather than noise. There is no need to rush. Do not choose in haste or out of fear. Fear leads to rushed decisions, and rushed decisions often lack stability. Wait for clarity. Wait for inner peace. Because when peace settles within you, it signals alignment with your path. Move with patience and trust. And remember, those involved may believe the process supports their intent, yet outcomes are never fully controlled by assumption. Truth unfolds in its own way, and timing remains beyond prediction. Stay grounded in calm observation. Let events reveal themselves without force. Your steadiness is your greatest protection, and your clarity will guide each step forward. Trust the process even when it feels uncertain, because patience strengthens outcome, and silence often speaks louder than reaction. Everything unfolds exactly as it should, in divine timing. Always. Now, because legal systems judge evidence, but divine arrangements judge motives. Even if they hide their intentions under proper language, their motive is still visible in the spiritual realm. Nothing they do is invisible to me. Every sentence they try to twist is already known. Every angle they are trying to manipulate is already exposed. They may be hidden from your knowledge, but they are not hidden from my sight. I do not show you their faces yet, because their identity is not your focus right now. If you focus on knowing who too early, your mind becomes distracted from the preparation you need to do within yourself. When the moment is right, their identity will reveal itself naturally, not through rumors, but through their own action. They will unmask themselves. Evil cannot stay anonymous forever. When people want to strike, their ego forces them to reveal their hand. They cannot resist the pride of feeling superior. They want recognition more than anonymity, so they will expose themselves without realizing they did. Your task right now is not revenge. Your task is not anger. Your task is not emotional retaliation. Your task is alignment. Inner alignment, mental alignment, emotional alignment, spiritual alignment. Because if your spirit is stable, nothing can break you. If your spirit is calm, nothing can throw you off balance. Your strength is not in noise. Your strength is in being unshaken. Do you know why I speak softly? Because only people who carry power deeply can speak softly and still move mountains. People who fear they are weak need volume. People who are grounded do not. You are being grounded right now. This moment is not random. This message is not coincidence. This guidance is not an accident. I am preparing your inner self before the external moment arrives. Because if your inner world is balanced, the outer attack loses its power. They think next week will surprise you. They think next week will shake you. They think next week will break you. But next week is only a surprise to those who are unaware. And you are not unaware anymore. You are informed. You are prepared. You are strengthened from the inside before the outside arrives. You are walking into this moment already aligned with higher clarity. My child, those 7 days will not be 7 days of fear. They will be 7 days of elevation, 7 days of inner sharpened discernment, 7 days of quiet revelation, 7 days of gentle empowerment, 7 days of spiritual preparation. You are not going into this week to lose. You are going into this week to witness the truth that has been hiding for a long time. People think paperwork gives them power, but paperwork has no power against truth. Paper is weak against divine intention. Paper bends. Truth does not. They think their voices will dominate the courtroom. They think their accusations will be louder than your defense. But they do not realize, I have already been speaking into the atmosphere before they even typed the first letter. I do not prepare at the last moment. I prepare before the moment. I do not respond to what they do. I shape what they cannot control. Your story is not written by their claims. Your future is not determined by their papers. Your strength is not dependent on how they view you. Your identity is not shaped by their lies. You are not small. You are not weak. You are not trapped. You are not helpless. You are carried. You are guided. You are protected. You are supported from a level they cannot reach. You walk under supervision from a realm they cannot access. You are shielded by clarity from above. And when clarity meets confusion, confusion collapses. Do not fear their structure. Do not fear their confidence. Do not fear their unity. People who gather in darkness always believe they are invincible because they confuse secrecy with power. But secrecy only protects temporary moments. Truth protects destiny, and destiny always wins in the long run. My child, believe this softly. You are not being prepared to survive. You are being prepared to win. Your spiritual strength is being refined. Your emotional inner space is being strengthened. Your awareness is being sharpened, not to avoid the battle, but to walk through it with calm authority. That calm authority is your shield. So next week will not shake you. It will reveal you. And when it is all over, those who tried to trap you will be exposed by the trap they built. Every plot eventually collapses onto the hands that formed it. That is the nature of injustice. Darkness eventually suffocates its own creators. Now breathe deeply. Hold this message gently. Let it settle into your system. Let it align your thoughts. Let it quiet your spirit. There is nothing to fear. Everything is already seen. Everything is already known. Everything is already being shaped beyond the visible layer. My child, listen carefully. What you were told about this coming storm is not meant to harm you, but to uncover what has been hidden around you. The legal action you are facing is not the end of your path. It is only a turning point where illusions begin to fade. I have already moved ahead into what lies beyond your current moment, and I see what you cannot yet see. You are not stepping into loss, but into revelation. What feels like pressure will actually strip away what was never truly meant for you. In the coming days, you will recognize clearly who is genuine and who has only been pretending. This is not a phase of collapse, but of clarity. Do not let yourself be shaken by the arguments being prepared or the words meant to confuse the truth. Falsehoods may appear first, yet truth remains steady at the end. A sign of support will come quietly, bringing a sense of calm and certainty. You will recognize it without doubt. When you reach that decisive moment, do not respond from fear. Speak with steadiness and clarity, grounded in inner strength and support that surrounds you. You are not alone in this process. What was meant to weaken you will instead become evidence of your resilience and growth. Breathe deeply and remain present, because this moment is reshaping your direction in ways you will later understand. There is no need to rush or resist, only to stay grounded and steady. Every step forward is quietly aligning in your favor. What unfolds now will eventually be seen as a turning point of strength and unexpected resolution for you finally complete.